conditions. Absolutely brutal, aren't they? Antigua and Marathon going the distance into penalties. You never forget games like this.
No, definitely when you're when you're on a pitch like that and you squeak out a win at the end, you feel great.
Alianza taking on Motagua. These are two giants in CONCACAF.
Huge. I'm lucky to get them this early in the tournament, but somebody has to go through.
Zelaya, the early goal. Castellanos in the 90th. 2 goals in the final 11 minutes of this one. It finished level, and Alianza from the penalty spot unable to get it done as Motagua seals their fate to move on to the quarterfinals. The celebration was on in front of an empty venue. It's the Honduran side who passes this side from El Salvador. You and I got a chance to call this one. Waterhouse hosting Arcai of Haiti, and what a result for the road team.
Yeah, Arcai just came in determined and did what they had to, and especially in front of the net. You're going to see this one just about near post, up high. And Arcai, the surprise to many this year in the competition.
And then the fog, all the fog. Believe it or not, Johan Banega scored 4 times for Saprissa. If you could see it in this Scooby-Doo ghost town. Have you ever played in conditions like this?
What'd you say, Racky?
I'll take that as a yes. 4-1 the final of that one, and then this was the blowout of the round. Olympia over Managua, 6-0. Olympia, as always, one of the favorites anytime they're playing on this stage.
Yeah, definitely one of the top clubs in the competition, and if you don't come with your A game, they're going to punish you, and so they did.
They scored in the 7th minute. They were up 2-0 at the half and then pushed the pedal down in this single match format. 4 second-half goals, a 6-0 win over Managua. And that leads us to tonight. Real Esteli, the side from Nicaragua, taking on Herediano of Costa Rica. And both these teams are in scintillating form within their domestic leagues. We know that Real Esteli is already the first-place finisher in the regular stage in Nicaragua. We know Herediano in Group A of Costa Rica has secured their place in the semifinal. When you're in that kind of form domestically, you come onto this stage brimming with confidence.
Yeah, both teams are going to look to go at it. As they said in the press conferences, both of them are looking for momentum going forward. They're both confident, and they're going to look to put their best game forward and see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see how the Ticos deal with the Pinaleros tonight.
Nicaraguans are led by a 23-year-old manager, certainly a major story in the Tico newspapers. Can he come here to this massive venue with such historical significance and pull out what would likely be among the most shocking victories of this CONCACAF League thus far? Notably, there is no return leg. If Real Esteli is to perform better than they ever have, which is to advance for the first time in this competition, it will take a superhuman effort, and yet there is a belief in this camp. And they believe these extra couple of weeks can help them as well. But Herediano is primed and prepared for a run of their own. The 2018 champion trying to scale this mountain again, a win for either side. Move them into the quarterfinals. It'll give them 2 chances to reach Champions League. As the CONCACAF anthem blares out at the National Stadium in San Jose. The lights are on here. Nobody allowed in this venue tonight, and yet the stakes could not be higher for these two teams in CONCACAF League. If you win, you move on to the quarterfinals. If you win in the quarters and go to the semis, you're automatically into Champions League. You're still fighting for a trophy. If you win tonight and lose in the quarterfinals, you still have a chance to reach Champions League in 2021 through the playing game. More on that as we go along. Brian Lopez of Guatemala is the referee for this affair. The starting lineup for Herediano. This is a group that brings back 9 starters from their 3-2 loss to Saprissa last time out.
Yeah, definitely. Jonathan McDonald up front really catches my eye. He's one that's very, very good in front of goal, and you can't allow him any space to turn and face the goal because he's one that clinical in front of the net.
All 22 starters and the 4 officials all coming together. It's a moment of silent remembrance, chance to honor those we've lost and those who continue to keep us safe in the ongoing fight of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Debido al COVID-19. Agradecer a todos los protagonistas de la salud que han puesto su riesgo para mantener seguros a nuestras comunidades.
Lest we forget, there were reported 12 cases within Herediano at the end of October, according to the local papers, and Real Esteli had issues as well. Here's the lineup for Real Esteli under Halvar Ruiz, the 23-year-old manager.
Yeah, Manuel Rosas is going to have to lead tonight and bring the boys along, and they're going to look for Chavarria up front to do the business. So hopefully they get off to a really good start, cause Herediano some problems, and we'll have an exciting game going forward.
Available substitutes. Esteban Granados, probably the most surprising player left out for Herediano, as Leandro Barrios checks in there, and then Jonathan McDonald checks in as well up front. If you're Herediano, you're going to want to play a very attack-minded game from the jump, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to want to keep the tempo high, move the ball quickly, shift Esteli around, and see if you could find those openings to penetrate early and get one early on the board. And if you're Esteli, you're going to try to keep compact as much as possible, kind of stymie the attack of Herediano, and then pick your opportunities to go forward.
Brian Lopez is ready. An eerie silence. The 2018 champion, aside from Nicaragua, looking to make their way to the quarterfinals. The opening whistle, and we're underway in San Jose. Great pleasure to be with you as the Concacaf League round of 16 concludes here tonight. 2 games in Costa Rica. Woldy Harris, the Jamaican international, Mike Watts on hand. Certainly no one would doubt that Herediano is the favorite, and they may well be the favorite as they move through this competition. And an early foul.
Yeah, Bronzetti just getting in a little bit physical on Ruiz early in the match, setting the tone, just leading there with the forearm. Referee is right on the spot, lucky to escape a yellow card.
33-year-old Brazilian center back by trade. Also Fefa. Also Fefa drops between these 2 center backs, allows those wide players to get higher up the field and really impose.
Yeah, but as you can see in the early goings here, how compact Esteli is. 2 banks of 4, actually 1 back of the back 4, and then you have a bank of 5 right in front of them, and one person up front. Just keeping things compact early, not allowing any space for Herediano to find those penetrating passes. But we both know how Herediano plays, and their players are really technical, really quick, and able to get behind. So as this game progresses, it'll be interesting to see if Esteli could keep this up.
Barrera has that skip up off him, the first player from Nicaragua to get to a European First Division with Rheindorf in Austria. Jafet Soto. It's been said he's come to the rescue again and again for Herediano over the years.
He played it down in his press conference, and you got to take it game by game. But you know they're coming out here to win.
Brian Segura. Asalfefa. Segura again, only 23 years old, the Costa Rican who played in the Under-20 World Cup 3 years ago. Given the reins here this year. Picked up by Rodriguez. Betancourt. Trouble brewing here in the back, Garcia. Garcia knocked off his line. Jorge Betancourt. Well, if you're Herediano, you can almost get lulled to sleep in all this. Rosas. Garcia from a long way out.
Yeah, just saw a little bit of an opening there, but not shy to have a go from distance. Garcia find himself on the ball early, very busy. They're going to look to get him the ball more often. Great organized press here from Esteli early.
I saw Oliver Flores there. Does he look 23 to you?
No, he looks a lot younger than 23, but the guy, he's been coaching since he's 18.
Right.
Quick fact we talked about earlier, he has his UEFA A license from, what, 19? Wow, it's unheard of.
You could give me 19 years and I wouldn't be able to get my A license, and I'm a fully fledged adult, some would argue. Have a look at this. Ruiz never got a touch to that.
No, Chavarria looking to get that ball across. Just was touched away from him in the end. Trying to get a call, but AR right on the spot.
Throw for Herediano. Lest we forget, Costa Rica among the first divisions in the region to return to play. They've already reached the tail end of the Apertura. Alajuelense plays later tonight. They've clinched a spot in the grand final in Costa Rica. Herediano was nipping at their heels a bit in the course of that regular season. This is out for a goal kick. Means with a second place finish in Group A, despite it being 6th overall in the grander table, Herediano is going to their 21st consecutive domestic semifinal, which is very much their expectation.
Yeah, they come out every single year and put everything on the line. And consistency is the hallmark of a champion, so we'll see if they could finish it off in the end here.
Chiano wins a corner.
Yeah, this is good from Esteli, forcing Herediano to defend early, getting balls into the box or threatening to get balls into the box, and putting Herediano on their heels early.
You have to be happy if you're the manager. Flores grew up in Esteli, born in 1997. That was the year Wolde here signed with the Colorado Rapids.
That was a fun fact.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
Put that into context. For a good run with the Colorado Foxes. Set piece here for Esteli. Swing this over, knotted down and wide of Segura's post. Not a bad look from Oscar Lopez getting forward.
Yeah, just couldn't steer that one on frame. Let's take a look at the replay here. Ball swerved to the back post. Lopez just trying to redirect it on target, but didn't get much power on that one. No threat to Ryan Segura's goal. Here comes Herediano.
Not a lot to this possession early.
No, they seem to be content with just moving the ball around, trying to lure their opponents in, and then do this, just play that ball over the top or in between the lines. But Esteli is doing a good job of getting behind the ball, shifting from side to side, and really cutting those passing lanes off. And they're having to go really east-west instead of trying to go north-south here early on.
Fuller. There's that lobbed ball over the top. Easy enough to cut out. Barrios gave it away.
They did a good job of staying organized there and recovering the ball, but just gave it up too cheaply in the end. And now they're playing on their heels again.
This is a bit more incisive. Ruiz. There's the service looking for Barrios. And this settled for a long-range effort from Asafefa. Tried again.
Not sure if you saw a shooting lane there, but we certainly didn't. There was 3 or 4 guys in front of the ball, but Asafefa tried it all the same.
Pereira gives chase. We're closing in on 9 minutes in, but if you are Herediano, there is likely a tendency to try and force the issue when Esteli is so compact and right now playing so high.
Well, I think being at home in Costa Rica, they're comfortable. They're just looking to probe and find the right opportunity to go forward, or seeing when Esteli is disorganized to really put that ball over the top or between the lines. So it's really about being patient, and then for Esteli, it's really about trying to get out quick on the counter once we recover the ball.
It's one way to lance all this possession from Herediano. Yeltsin Tejeda.
Traditionally, Herediano is not afraid to just let it be a war of attrition. Just wear you down with possession and then hit you when you least expect it. So don't expect this game to be one pace the entire time. You're certainly going to see it pick up once those gaps starting to open up, maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Chavarria, this is going the other way. It belongs to Esteli as we close in on the 10th minute.
Taking a replay here. Just coming just a little bit too physical in the back. Actually a soft foul, to be honest. But referee Brian Lopez is right on the spot.
Setting the tone early, perhaps. And giving it away just as cheaply as they got it.
And he has a better angle than we do, that's for sure. Closer to the action.
It's a steady start right now for Herediano. Playing at the National Stadium in San Jose. Behind closed doors, this champion of 2018 were surprisingly dropped out in the round of 16 by Waterhouse, the Jamaican side, 2019 in the CONCACAF League.
On PKs.
Yeah.
1-1. Into PKs. Both goalkeepers shot, and one made it, one didn't. But you can hear Japhet Soto say in the press conference that they remember that, they've learned from that, and now they're looking to take this game by the scruff of the neck and stay on the front foot and try to come out the result.
Rodriguez. Betancourt. Rosas. Rosas again. Brown puts this out with a clear message on his back. Cedes the corner.
Yeah, talking to Segura right there, maybe a little bit of lack of communication or miscommunication between the two. Brown had this one out for a corner. Had ample time to take that one down and maybe even for Segura to come for it, but it's out for a corner. Let's see if Esteli could get on the board here.
There's Oscar Lopez, the number 4 there at the back of your screen. Was the target last time around. Garcia. It is Lopez. It is beyond him. He'll chase with Gallo. Well done to find Mosquera. After much conversation, a goal kick.
And Mosquera looked like he went down a little bit awkward there. Just trying to whip this one in with his right foot. We'll take a look at the replay. Just got put off there in the end by Lopez.
Right off the turn, boom.
Check that, Gallo.
Also, Feifa, head on a swivel looking for something to open up here. These lanes have been quite congested early going.
Yeah, Esteli doing a good job of staying organized and compact, making it difficult, making life difficult for Herediano to play out of the back as they like to do. But you have to say that there's a lack of mobility in Herediano as well, in between the lines, between their midfielders and their forwards. Not really finding those passes too easy over the top, so they need more mobility out, especially out of the wing backs.
The bounce from Tejeda, a return from Barrios.
Yeah, they need to get Yelston involved. They need to get Leandro Barrios involved as well. Not to mention, I haven't seen Jonathan Mcdonald touch the ball yet since this game started.
Said about a week ago he was at maybe 80%, was left out of the team entirely against Saprissa, and what may end up being the semifinal match. They're the leader in Group B by just a point. Herediano could realistically see them December the 13th. The domestic semifinal begins, Costa Rica. But Mcdonald not part of the team at all. Gaviria.
That one is high, wide, and not too handsome. Had to go with the left foot. But Esteli is yet to put one on target and threaten goalkeeper Segura.
Fuller.
See the strength of Leandrino coming through there.
And lost it just as soon as he had crossed midfield. Garcia continued to pursue. Leandro Barrios. Great dicing ball. We haven't seen him touch the ball that much. This deflects off the goalkeeper and then flies out. It was Ruiz.
Yeah, Jairo Ruiz definitely would want that one back. His first touch let him down here. Great cross, great change in the point of attack. Ruiz running onto it, just his first touch was a little bit behind him. Once that happened, he got closed down by Lopez. Lucky to get a corner kick in the end. It looked like it did come off Ruiz.
It's also Feifa. Did win at the highest level CONCACAF club competition years and years ago with Saprissa. On this 2018 Herediano side that went the distance, won CONCACAF League. Also Feifa waits. Nothing there. Rosas was struck from a long way out.
Yeah, both teams seem to have left their shooting boots in the locker room so far.
If you're either manager, are you significantly changing your thought at this point? Or I would imagine if you're Esteli, you're thinking the longer this stays at 0-0, you have to feel quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, and I think that's the game plan as well, and the way they're set up in that 4-5-1 formation. You know, it leads you to think that they're going to be solid defensively early out, not give up any chances. And as you said, the longer it goes, you know, the more likely that they're going to get an opportunity to goal, and hopefully they can stick it away and make life even more difficult for Herediano.
Piano, the other side of the box. Betancourt. Good step through, and Rodriguez.
Look to catch Segura by surprise there. Rodriguez slicing through. Good ball back. He just picks this one up. His first touch beats the defender. Gets his head down. Tries to get a shot on net. No one's hit the target yet.
You'd have to say that's as close as we've come thus far.
Yes, sir.
One could imagine if there's a crowd of 10,000 plus right now, there'd be a lot of chanting going on at this.
And a lot of whistling as well.
Uh-huh.
As we know, games in Central America, they want their teams to attack. They want to see a lot of goals. They want to see entertaining soccer. But right now, without that, both teams are just sitting back, not giving up, not taking any risk early in the game, and just probing and just waiting for the other team to make a mistake. But eventually, you're going to have to press forward and take some risk.
Have to say there's not a protagonist yet. Barrera for Garcia. Garcia. Segura got it. Garcia again. And then struck in. Betancourt. Esteli goes on the road, grabs the lead, 19th minute.
Third time's a charm. Garcia twice, and Betancourt coming through, smashing this one in the top of the net. (1-0). Esteli is going to take a look at the replay. This ball gets played in. Third through ball down the line, gets cut back, and Garcia is there, just out-muscling his defender. Has one bite at the apple. Two, and Segura comes up with a save, and there's Betancourt, just smashing it up, upper corner. Top bins. 1-0, Esteli. What a strike. What a strike.
Anything less, it's not hard to clear that off the line, but instead he roofs it.
Great technique by Betancourt.
That's his first goal on the international stage. He did play in Concacaf League last year. He's appeared a dozen times for Nicaragua since being a naturalized citizen and been born in Colombia. That first one will be sweet, whether anyone was here to see it or not. And certainly that has to change the nature of this 20 minutes in now. And it's not a happy sight behind that mask, I would imagine.
No, Herediano is going to have to pick up the pace, increase the tempo, need more movement in front of the ball and in advance of the ball to really ask questions of that Esteli midfield. And then they need more runs in behind as well. So if you can't go through the midfield, you're going to have to see if you could go over the top. So the likes of Leandrino, Mcdonald, and Ruiz are going to really have to get going.
Tejeda. Perhaps bears reminding there is no return leg, there is no first leg in Nicaragua. This is it. There is no extra time either. It would go directly to penalties should we get there. And Esteli, simply by playing the right game here on the road, could pass through into the quarterfinals. A well-played 90 minutes. Does change the nature of this tournament, doesn't it?
Yeah, as we said earlier in the broadcast, if Esteli could nick one early and keep their organization and keep compact, it's going to be a long night for Herediano.
Salazar to the feet. Barrios. You see Mcdonald 9 in red. Not sure he's touched the ball once. He's asking for this over the top, and it's far further than he had hoped. He was pointing up. I don't think he was pointing there.
Yeah, as a forward in that system, in this system, he's going to need to have more diagonal runs, a little bit more movement, even check back down into the midfield, and cause some questions for the back four. As we take a second look at the goal here, Betancourt just putting his foot through it, smashing it into the top corner. Nothing that any of the players. Segura came up with two brilliant saves. Came out here, the first one. Here's the second one. But Betancourt, this one is just impossible to stop. Three players behind the ball just can't get to that one. It's up in the top of the net. But as we were saying, You know, they're going to need to get going, especially in the middle of the park. And those guys that are responsible for scoring the goals, especially Mcdonald, would need to get involved a little bit more as this game progresses, if Herediano is seeking to get the equalizer before the half.
The midway point is first half in San Jose. Herediano trying to avoid the same indignity they suffered in 2019 rather. Champions cast off in the round of 16. Lost here by Tejeda in midfield. Not a lot of support here for Barrera.
Yeah, it seems like, oh, that's what happened.
Injured player back behind.
We're both looking at each other wondering why he's slowing down.
That's Manuel Rosas, the Nicaraguan international, born in Guadalajara, naturalized 50 appearances, and that is a difficult fall.
Yeah, tough one there. Hoping that he can continue. Always want to take extra precaution with any type of fall like that, especially with the neck, spine area.
Will be carried off here. As a naturalized citizen back in 2012, he was called into the national team less than a month later. Has become one of the go-tos for Nicaragua ever since. And if you think about his history, an 11-time champion in Nicaragua. He's played over 20 games in Concacaf club competition. There are few in Nicaragua provide a more steadying presence than he does.
The guy has a wealth of experience, and they look to him for leadership, amongst other things. So we definitely hope he can continue. Ah, there he is, running back onto the field. That's a good sign for Esteli.
Can I say, it was a ginger walk back onto the field. We'll see how quickly he's on the ball now. Find his sea legs again.
Great cross the field pass there. That's a 40-yard pass. The left foot doesn't look like he's feeling too much worse for wear.
Esteli on the front foot here, 25 minutes gone. Rosas again. Came through Morelia and Durango and Tigres, reserve teams in Mexico. Came into Esteli nearly a decade ago and has become man you write in Sharpie on your team sheet. Barrera. Well won here by Herediano. Alsafefa. Barrios. It's Fuller. Well, the support came, and Barrios has had trouble in 1v1 or in some situations 1v2 scenarios tonight.
Yeah, but even Fuller had an opportunity at 1v1 coming up the field in that same attack and didn't use that opportunity, waited on Barrios to come back over. So you have to think, need you to think, you know, what's the approach here? Are they trying to create overloads on the outside, or are they just looking to work the ball up the field and see if they can maintain possession in the final third and then find a way to nick a goal? Because for me, that last attack, they had an excellent opportunity to go 1v1, get down the line, get a ball into the box, or 1v1 and get a shot off, make combination play, what have you, but just didn't use it. Fuller just waited, and that opportunity was gone.
Mosquera sought Barrera. Barrios. Tug from behind, advantage played.
Again, Esteli doing a great job of getting numbers behind the ball. And there's, for the lack of mobility up front, Herediano has to play the ball back again. Not seeing a lot of movement from in the midfield from Herediano. Very pedestrian-like. This is more like it.
Fuller for Mcdonald. And a Mcdonald foul.
Yeah, it doesn't look as sharp as we used to see in Mcdonald there. This ball comes in just second to this ball, and creating a foul.
Even with the injury issues he's suffered, he is the leading scorer in the Costa Rican Apertura on 5 goals. Sent out by Keisha Fuller. Did start a few games at Gold Cup for Costa Rica against Mexico, against that Haitian side that had such a wonderful run. Gold Cup 2019. If you told me which team was the favorite coming in tonight, I'm not entirely sure I could tell you. Just the jerseys didn't have a name on them.
Yeah, well, Esteli definitely came out on the front foot. They bore the brunt of that first 10 to 15 minutes of possession by Herediano, and now they're growing in confidence. Here comes Herediano again.
Barrios flicks this over, seeking Mcdonald. Too far for him, too short for Gallo. Asofefa. There's room that's closing down, came off Mcdonald. Certainly thought Tejeda was going to get a touch to that as it left Herediano without their defenses. Barrera's making that cutting run in behind. Barrera overtaken by Fuller.
That's a great job on the counterattack by Esteli. 5v3 went toward goal. It's a great run there. Great diagonal run, a great ball in. But an even better recovery from Fuller there to stymie the shot from Barrera.
Garcia led the charge. Barrera darted between.
In those instances, it's even better to take that opportunity first time. We guarantee at least an opportunity on that.
The angle there just got tighter and tighter, didn't it?
Well, the longer you wait, that's what happens.
Corner Real Esteli. Gone short. Now they lob it forward. That's a strong one-fisted punch from Segura. Racing back on side, Keanu.
Pitch and catch for Segura there. A 2v2 on the outside. Would love to see him go down the line. Ask questions of Fuller here. But decided to put that ball in the box. Here comes Herediano on the attack again.
Esteli grabbed the goal in the 19th minute. Jorge Betancourt, 29-year-old, scoring his first time on the international stage. Helps Esteli out to a 1-goal lead on the road in San Jose, Costa Rica, with a spot in the quarterfinals on the line in this single match. Yendrick Ruiz plays in this first game. Brian Ruiz of Alajuelense, his older brother, could feature later on tonight. They're on opposite sides of the bracket, however. Those brothers won't meet until a potential final. Skips down, chance to get a shot away. Barrios waited for that to fall to him, and Garcia raced in. Tug at the back of Barrera. Garcia went down. The whistle is late, but does arrive.
Yeah, but you could see which team is has more intensity here. It's definitely Esteli. They're winning the second balls, winning the 50-50 challenges, and they're not afraid to put their body on the line. As you can see here, Barrera just holding up that ball for his teammates to join. And that's what Herediano needs to do more of. They need to get a little bit more intense, especially going forward. Gonna have to pick up the pace of play.
Beg your pardon, the quarterfinal that follows this round of 16 fixture matches the 2 games being played tonight, the winners. So the winner of this, Esteli and Herediano, get the winner of Alajuelense, Costa Rica, San Francisco FC of Panama. So we could see the brothers Ruiz on the field together. Could be in short order. Fuller who gave it away. It's Garcia bouncing.
Been very active early, Garcia. In and around the ball, dropping into the midfield, getting out under the flanks.
Avaria for Moscata. Herediano at work once again. Won the 2019 Apertura against Alajuelense in penalties back in December. That's what won them their spot into the round of 16. Hoping to set up a rematch this year in Concacaf League. Off the throw, Barrera was inching awkwardly and did get out.
Yeah, Segura had to be mindful there, be very aware. That ball looked like it had a wicked swerve on it, but in the end didn't turn out to be a threat.
Esteli said they liked this game. Better to play against a big team. You get more information. It's also a motivation playing against a team of Herediano's stature within the region, a former champion in this competition. They seem to take great pride in knowing this was the dragon they had to slay at the outset.
Well, Herediano is a quality side. It's a quality club, and traditionally they've been at the fore of all the competition that they've been in, and Esteli is aspiring to be where they are. So you always want to play the best of the best on your way to a cup, and that's what they're getting right now. It's even better that they're 1-0 up. Let's see if they can maintain that lead.
Sent long, and we haven't seen Rodrigo Romo touch the ball yet.
I think that's the first time he's received the ball to his hands. Every other touch has been a goal kick.
Acquired back in August, the 29-year-old Spaniard spent most of his career in the Spanish lower divisions. This is given away by Barrera. Quite the effort by Rodriguez to slip in there. Barrera charging out of midfield. Has options wide. Now races into the box. This is Brown. Got it away, Keanu. If you're Barrera, no use chasing this. Well offside.
Yeah, just coming in strong here is Rodriguez. There's your goal scorer.
Fuller.
See, that's a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. Just no red shirts moving. Everybody's stationary.
How much does that surprise you? You're talking about a team that has felt like they've been trying to gain a competitive rhythm at this point. They've had stops and starts, scored a couple goals against Saprissa, came from behind twice, ultimately fell. Mcdonald came back to receive the ball. He's fouled.
It's also a team that is traditionally, they've been the champions before, got eliminated, and now they're in the tournament again, saying that they want to go forward and win a championship, but their actions doesn't show that, doesn't exude that. As we're going to take a look at Mosquito coming in here, just a little bit too strong with the studs on Mcdonald. Thought may have played this up a little bit, but still a dangerous challenge. Got a little stern talking to there. Referee Brian Lopez. And here's an excellent opportunity. A few minutes before the half to grab one and level this one.
Ruiz and also Feifa standing over the ball.
I think there's going to be some misdirection here, a movement of the ball and then a service.
There it is. Service simply needs to be better. Despite the effort of Kane or Brown, that's out.
Yeah, in those situations, you have to give yourself a chance. You got to put the ball into the mixer, in and around, in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Ask questions of the keeper. And then, you know, those are the opportunities, or the instances, rather, that the defenders make mistakes. And you capitalize on them, but not to give yourself a chance there is just unimaginable.
It's Mcdonald this time.
Hasn't seen much of the ball tonight, McDonald.
And as a striker of his resume, it's got to be quite frustrating.
For sure, for sure. And also, strikers need service in order to score goals. But if the teams, if you're not moving ahead of the ball, you're definitely not going to get those opportunities. So either way, we're going to need. Herediano is going to need more from McDonald up front. See, for me, that was an excellent opportunity to make a diagonal run. Get the ball in the box, defenders on your back. You can never tell what might happen. He may come through forcefully and you get a PK. He may not, and you get a shot off with your left foot, but not to run there and leaving that for a wide player. He's just giving up the opportunity to put Esteli under more pressure.
Barrios went down and allows Garcia to race out the other way and relieve. Would have been building pressure, and the whistle arrives. That arm extended by Folder.
As I said, he's been very busy since the beginning of the game. Not afraid to go at 1, 2, or even 3 defenders. Fuller coming through just gives him a forearm shiver. May even stepped on his leg there to boot. But Garcia's definitely been imposing his will on this game.
Sought out Betancourt, scored in the 19th. That's the go-ahead goal at this stage. Miguel Esteli of Nicaragua has not advanced in this competition, but that's just the nature of how their wins and losses fell. They did win a game in each of their previous series in this competition. 2 wins, 2 losses. 2017 came into the round of 16 and fell. In 2019, entered in the preliminary round, fell out there.
Okay, hopefully 3rd time's a charm for them. You got to think they're highly motivated to move forward after being bounced out of the competition twice.
What's more, a lot of talk about playing for Nicaragua. All they've been through with Hurricane Eta and Iota, Central America, but especially in Nicaragua, perhaps it's been hit as hard as anybody. Certainly plenty of eyes on them tonight. Barrera. This is a throw for Herediano.
Yeah, you could see him remonstrating there, thinking that it came off the Herediano player and that Esteli would get a throw in, but referee Lopez says no.
You can't blame him for trying.
Oh, for sure. From my vantage point, he had a case.
Betancourt. Barrera.
don't get what you don't ask for, right?
Spoken like a true striker. Well, that's a dangerous over-the-back leap by Bronzotti.
Yeah, especially if you're leading with a forearm. In this day and age, I'm surprised that he's not going into referee's book here. Referee Lopez leading with the forearm, back of the head.
Yendrick Ruiz won that golden ball in 2018 in this tournament. Taken out from behind. Does create a set piece here for Herediano. They did feel like they off dead ball situations were getting more dangerous of late. Does it translate here? The biggest question, of course, can they put this in play? Their last service was out untouched. And this only marginally better than the foul from Fuller. It has not connected yet for this Herediano side.
No, and this is just a bit of frustration coming from Fuller, knowing that his team has been trying so hard to get forward. They want to stay on the attack, but there you have to exude a little bit of self-control. That's something that drives coaches crazy. When the opposition is back's turned to your goal, you just want him to play that ball back to his goal. You don't want him to turn. I mean, the last thing you want to do right there is create a foul. Let them off the hook.
Back here to Romo. You'd have to say for Esteli, this is working out to perfection. Against Managua, their last time out, they sat 7 of the players who start here today. Garcia darting. Brown shadowed well. Cleared out. Keanu. You know, a rifle of a leg from Rodriguez. Instead, Moscata from a long way out. But a win against Managua. They've got their semifinal coming up in less than a week's time, and they lead against Herediano right now. It's all coming up roses for Esteli as we near halftime.
And you have to think that they're just executing the game plan. They came out, they were compact, organized from the start. You saw their clear lines, and there wasn't a lot of space in between for Herediano to play. Made it difficult for them to break them down. It's beared fruit so far. Got the goal.
Perhaps the best combination we've seen yet tonight. Ruiz tease this, deflects. Mcdonald settles. Mcdonald sends it off target.
Yeah, see what he was trying to do there. Just trying to get it out of his feet to bend that ball up a corner. Just got too much on it and sends it over the crossbar. But that's better from Herediano. Need more and more of that going forward. And ask questions of Esteli. Get them disorganized. Put balls into the box. Have them defend. Have them to clear. See if you can nick some things off that way and get an opportunity. But just to be knocking the ball around the midfield and lumping balls in, they're going to end up defending in the long run.
Into our one additional minute. A goal here late for Herediano probably would make the scoreline, certainly would make them happier with it, but it wouldn't make you rethink the way they played this first half. Called it lackluster at one point. Call it sleepwalking. But Herediano simply needs to find another gear in this second half. They'll find themselves out of this competition. Another look at the foul.
I'm pretty sure Coach Soto is not going to be happy at the half, and he's going to let his feelings known. He may even change 1 or 2 pieces coming into the second half. We'll have to wait to see, but great half from Esteli coming out.
You do get the benefit of 5 substitutions, and perhaps without using a window, they may seek to make changes with personnel, perhaps even more than that, to try and find a way to push more numbers forward. But it's Real Esteli who come out on the front foot. Jorge Betancourt, the 19th minute. A rumble inside the 18. He powerfully sends it into top netting. And Mcdonald in this Herediano side simply have not found what they're looking for yet. It's been a poor exhibition in an empty venue tonight. One, and perhaps they needed their own energy. They've yet to find it. At halftime, Real Esteli 1, Herediano 0. San Jose, Costa Rica. There's the look at the beautiful National Stadium. It's lit up tonight. While there's no visitors allowed, would it be the visitors who came in and won this one? Real Esteli taking on Herediano. First half highlights with Woldy Harris, Mike Watts. From the opening whistle, it became very clear what Real Esteli's aim was.
Yeah, get on the front foot, try to get as many chances as possible, put it on frame, and they're asking questions at a Herediano back four from the opening whistle.
Few chances to break through this very staunch wall of Real Esteli defenders. This cleared away as Jairo Ruiz made his way in.
Yeah, his first touch let him down. Great change in the point of attack here. This touch right here just let him down. Wanted that one in front of him, and that allowed Romo to come out and really stymie that attack. No, he would want that one back.
Critical at that juncture from Romo. There's a look at the Herediano manager, Jafet Soto, speaking to his bench. Could they find an answer? In the end, the first answer truly would come from Real Esteli. It started with Betancourt as Rodriguez sent this wide, and it was the beginning of a change of attacking momentum. A complacent Herediano side would concede first in this match as Real Esteli started to put together some decent opportunities. This in the 19th minute gets caught between Garcia's legs. The block comes back and hammered home by Betancourt.
Yeah, but that's all started with the mobility of Barrera, making that diagonal run and dismantling that defense, getting the ball in to Henry, and then over to Betancourt. Two bites at the cherry here from Garcia. Great job from Segura to come up with the first save. It follows it up with a second, but Betancourt just lashes this one, top bins. Three defenders on the line, no one could get to it, and it's 1-0 Esteli.
It's possible that's an unwitting assist from Carlos Chavarria, as it appeared to come off the hand at the end of Romo, bounce off the Esteli player, and Betancourt hammers it home in the 19th minute. Real Esteli, Nicaragua's dominant power now for quite some time, goes on the road to Herediano and grabs the opening goal in this round of 16 single match fixture. Every last look as Romo came out, just as Romo had Segura came out, tried to engulf it, and it would be Esteli with the lead. You thought very highly of what Henry Garcia did in this first half.
Yeah, I thought he was very great movement off the ball. He was composed on the ball, not afraid to take people on 1v1. And when he had an opportunity, even albeit from 20 yards out, he's still trying to take that shot, and that's what you want from your forwards.
Found Barrera there. That eventually would take us to halftime. Esteli excited to have a lead here, and at this stage not exhausted yet as we take a look at first half statistics. Herediano had more possession. It was meaningless in the end.
Yeah, because they were passing east to west instead of going vertical and trying to dismantle the organization of the midfield for Esteli. They kept passing side to side, and Esteli nicked them off and kept going forward and eventually got a goal.
Esteli quite stout in this opening half. The Nicaraguans may well have an upset on their hands away to Costa Rica at halftime. Real Esteli 1, Herediano 0. at least from one Herediano player. In San Jose, Costa Rica, certainly the favorite. This Costa Rican side has to be frustrated by how they played in the first half. They trail 1-0 at the break against Real Esteli of Nicaragua. With Woldy Harris, Mike Watts, they're going to need some kind of boost of energy here in this second half, Herediano, if they are to avoid what would be a somewhat shocking defeat in the round of 16.
Yeah, they're going to have to add a lot of energy. Esteli is doing a really good job. They're motivated, they're intense, and you can just see it in the way they approach the game. It's a lot more assertive than Herediano. They're going to have to change the mentality, and they're going to have to pick up the pace in order to break this team down if they want to get back into this game.
Hendrik Ruiz, such a spectacular 2018 run. 5 goals along the way, the Golden Ball winner. Can he help find the answer? We questioned whether or not Herediano would make changes at halftime, and they have. I'll walk you through that in a moment's time. But as it stands, Herediano trail by a goal at the half. A side that has spent the entire season in Costa Rica in the top 2 in their group. They never left playoff position from the opening week. They've guaranteed their position in the semifinal. This was truly the biggest game on their schedule this week, even if they did just come off a match against Saprissa. We're underway in this second half. Esteli trying to consolidate this lead and head into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they've definitely been the better side tonight so far. We'll have to wait to see what the second half presents.
That's Jordi Hernandez who came on at halftime. A hairstyle certainly many can appreciate, like the both of us.
David Luiz-esque.
Esque. Also, Feifa got a touch to that. He already is playing a little bit higher to begin this second half. Galo. It's Jonathan Mcdonald who came out, and you'd have to say, they said coming in maybe he was at 80% physically. If that, he never looked entirely comfortable.
Yeah, just wasn't no mobility off the ball. And even when the ball was in his vicinity, you saw that he was a little bit hesitant in even putting his body on the line. Maybe those nagging injuries have played a role in his confidence. And he just wasn't able to make the impact that he would like in that first half. From here, it looks like Leandro's going to go up front, all the way up top, and see if they can cause some problems. See if they can get him the ball, hold it up, and bring his teammates into the game, and then make some combination play from there. See if they can get some chances at goal.
Gallo, former Alajuelense player, experience playing in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship. Ron Salazar. One promotion and the Clausura 2019 with San Carlos. And this lost miserably by Fuller.
Yeah, ball going out of bounds like that is just inexcusable. What are you going to say?
It feels like that's as good a personification of the first half and change for Herediano as one could find. Keanu gave that away, and certainly that's much further back than Jairo Ruiz was hoping to be at that juncture. Kept remarkably by Mosquera. Garcia. Garcia, the return.
Just ran into a sea of red jerseys there, Garcia. Looking to play a little bit of 1-2. Try to get a shot off.
Not a bad ball by Mosquera. And this knocked wide by Keanu. Really acrobatic effort at that.
Yeah, just ghosting in on the back post. You see this one? Gets crossed in by Barrera. Just tries with the outside of the right boot there, just steer it on net. Segura had to watch that one go by. Nothing that he could have done about that one if it went on net. Just the sheer pace of that ball would have beat him.
Not a bad idea at all from Keanu Ruiz. Kind of adjustment does Herediano make in possession? They felt stagnant the first 45.
Yeah, well, positionally, not much they need to change, but they just need more activity. They need more runs off the ball. They need more depth as well. And people coming to the ball in the middle of the park and asking questions of the back four. Do I follow the forward into the midfield, or do I stay back and keep the shape? Just a little bit more movement, or maybe even some interchanging from inside to out, outside to in, just to cause some disruption to that back four and these two sitting center mids.
Ruiz, Gallo. His service speared high. Hendrik Ruiz getting into the penalty area. Better from Herediano.
Yeah, they've come out a little bit more energy, and you're going to see two more substitutions looking like they're getting ready to come on. But they've definitely came out with a bit more energy, moving the ball a little bit quicker, and getting some services into the box.
As a manager, when you're making this change 5 minutes into the second half, using a sub window, using sub number 2 and number 3, and it'll come in a moment's time, is that a statement that what you talked about at halftime hadn't really played out?
In some cases, yes, and then there's other cases where the coach says, hey, I'm giving you five minutes, and if you don't up the energy. So he may have seen 1 or 2 players and said, all right, everybody else is on the same page, but you 2 or you 3 are not doing what I ask, so therefore I'm going to change things up. Or it could be also fresh legs. They did play a tough game against Saprissa a couple days ago, so there might be some legs there.
Also, Fefa and Fuller are the ones coming out. That's Burke. And now Lopez come on as well. So they've made a change in midfield here, and perhaps they've made a change in formation. Fuller, the outside back, comes off as well.
Yeah, so you might see they have to get back into this game, and the quicker they could do it, the better. So you may see them go to a back 3 and keeping putting 5 in the middle of the park and getting 2 up front. Or as well, you may see the same formation, but just a little bit more mobility out of the players that are wide and up front. That was a reckless challenge in the middle of the park. From Tejeda.
Tejeda is seemingly trying to draw some better vibes from the referee. Oi.
I'm surprised they didn't get a yellow card out of that one. Studs up challenge, made contact with Henry Garcia. Garcia goes down in a heap. Still no yellow card.
Fair to say Garcia is quite lucky that he was mobile at that point in time. Garcia. Sana Chavarria. Good recovery by Jairo Ruiz. Clearance off the mark from Gallo. Betancourt. Out of room. Esteli leads 1-0 against Herediano. Winner of this one gets either Alajuelense or San Francisco in the quarterfinals. Scotiabank Concacaf League, which begins in December. Alajuelense and San Francisco will close out the round later tonight in Alajuela. And you'd have to say Esteli was not what people likely penciled into the next round. Lopez overtaken.
But we have to remember that this is still a 1-0 game. All it takes is 1 goal to turn this game on its head. But if Esteli were to go ahead and get and get another goal, Could be a very big mountain to climb for Herediano.
And there is no extra time. Away goals are not an issue in a single leg match. It is simple as the score line on your screen. And if we were to finish level, go directly to penalties. This is a Esteli team that's played tightly with opposition now twice. They lost to Santa Tecla on road goals in 2019. 2017, they went to penalties with Aguila of El Salvador and won their home match in each of those instances in Nicaragua, lost their road match in each of those two-legged fixtures in CONCACAF League. And here, Ruiz.
This is what we're used to seeing from Herediano. They've finally woken up.
Ruiz again, one wonders if it's a bit too late. Barrera, plenty of time here, but when you've given a goal to begin with, and then have to try and build back into a game against a group who, to be fair, if you're Real Esteli, you've given up 13 goals in 18 games domestically. You don't anticipate coming here and giving up 2 or 3.
Yeah, but you're playing against a different beast here in Herediano, so you're going to have to pay close attention, especially in the middle of the park, and not get broken down. They've been very organized in there and have stymied most of the attacks from Herediano so far. They've pushed them wide into the flank positions, and they need to keep doing that. They can't allow the ball to come down the middle. So if they don't lose that midfield integrity, they stand a really good chance. But again, I have to remind you that it's still a 1-0 game. So any fluke goal from a set piece, or they get a breakaway, any type of opportunity, great skill there from Barrios. But any type of opportunity that could draw them level, there's all to play for. If you're Esteli, you're going to want to stay tight, but yet still have one eye on getting that second goal.
Austin speared away, bypasses Brown and comes to Salazar. Betancourt in the 19th, the lone marker thus far. We've had a few wild affairs in fog and what seemed like foggy bottom. This with the deflection comes back to Romo with ease. Gallo got the final touch to that.
Yeah, not a lot of power on that shot, and pretty routine there for Romo.
There's no whistle here. Play continues. Brought down on Tejeda's service. Garcia waited that out. Bypasses Ruiz. Chavarria. Barrera is well offside still. Now the whistle close to midfield. And that's as telling as you can get. Falling to his knees, Mosquera begging not to be sent off for this.
Yeah, coming in very strong from the back there, Mosquera. He's been on the receiving end of a couple of bumps here and there, but definitely been talked to more than once by referee Lopez. I'm still surprised he has not
shown one yellow.
Shown one caution the entire game. Out of all the harsh challenges that have gone on so far, no cards.
Over the last 2.5 years, Brian Lopez has worked 7 matches in the CONCACAF realm through Nations League B, Nations League C, Nations League qualifying, CONCACAF League. And he hasn't been averse to yellow cards. He's only sent 1 player off. Andrino wearing his frustration.
Yeah, for me, he couldn't get that ball back, but at the same time, the challenge was a little bit too strong. Just left his hips, not even looking at the ball here. Is Gallo. Check that Lopez coming across, but still no foul.
You'd have to say, to an extent, they've allowed this game to play out, and it really hasn't gotten all that nasty either way.
Right, but you also have to think that they're just one tackle away from this being an all-out brawl.
Yep, bedlam. About 2 cards a game is what Brian Lopez has handed out in his international duty thus far, the Guatemalan referee. Whistle blows and quickly taken by Burke.
You definitely see the uptick in energy and enthusiasm from Herediano in the second half. The ball's moving a lot faster. You can see players moving into space ahead of the ball. And they've looked a lot more dangerous than in the first half.
Hasn't been as easy as Saprisa's run in the round of 16, a 4-1 win rather. They trailed early. And Johan Benegas bagged the final 4 goals of that game under what was borderline impossible to see through fog. That was 3 weeks ago. The other 2 Costa Rican teams playing tonight in the round of 16 for various reasons. Burke allowed this to get out. And I'd have to think if you're Rodrigo Romo, you have to be pretty pleased with how this has gone so far. He comes in, the Spaniard, initially with interest in 2019, nearly went to Sweden. That didn't work out. Thought about coming into Real Esteli. They already had their full allotment of foreign players. But eventually comes into the side in August. Talked about the history, the titles, but also the chance to qualify in Concacaf, not only for Concacaf League, but potentially a place at the table in Champions League in 2021. Brought him transatlantically into Central America. And right now, it's been a pretty simplistic game for the goalkeeper for Real Esteli.
He's had 4 players in front of him that's been doing the business. They haven't allowed anything to come to him, and any shots from outside the box. And the balls that got served into the box, they were there to clear them. So he has to give credit where credit's due to his back 4 in front of him.
It's Barrera under the challenge of Lopez.
Strong challenge there from Ruiz.
Tossed in by Keanu. Barrera, Nicaragua's all-time leading goal scorer.
He's been impressive as well. His movement off the ball, his touch, his game intelligence, his decision-making has been spot on tonight, Barrera.
Coming off what ended up being a Golden Boot winning Apertura, 13 goals. He did it in a variety of ways. 2 penalties, 3 with his left foot, 4 with his head, 4 with his right foot. As nabbed the first goal-scoring champion for Real Esteli in 3 years. Finally, there's some movement here for Herediano into the final third with pace. Hernandez steps a corner for all that work. 62 minutes gone, Herediano a set piece.
That's what they were missing in the first half from Fuller. As we remember that one opportunity that Fuller had to go 1v1 and didn't use it. And now you're seeing Hernandez coming into the 4, not afraid to go one-on-one, not afraid to get up the line without the ball. He's giving his team an opportunity from a corner kick here.
Canairo Ruiz swinging away. Came off Mosqueda, and this is somewhat unforgivable in that moment.
Yeah, that was an interesting call. Looked like we're going to see a throw-in for Herediano, but instead, as we take a look at the replay, this ball gets served in. Seems to come off Mosqueda here, and it does. But I'm not sure if that ball went out of bounds initially. And if it's a goal kick, that's what the AR called.
Well, saw it quite quickly. All of a sudden, we may be talking about a 23-year-old manager masterminding a run into Costa Rica and a victory in the round of 16. And look at this foul.
There's that man Garcia again. He's been very active, very industrious tonight. Great work ethic on and off the ball. But just to get back to your earlier point, I mean, I think they came in with a great game plan, and the players are just executing that on that. It's yet to be seen if they could carry it out throughout the rest of the game. May need to go to the bench here in a few minutes as that midfield looks to be getting a little bit fatigued.
Hernandez did well to keep that. Head on a swivel, ahead for Ruiz. Romo comes off.
Yeah, great run behind the back four here, but just a little bit too early. Great ball over the top from Tejeda. But just going a little bit too early is Ruiz, and he gets called the offsides.
This is the fourth substitution in the use of the second window for Herediano. Leandrinho checks out now. And for Herediano, trying to do whatever they can at this stage. That's Suander Zuniga, who checks on. They only have one change left on the bench. There's Zuniga on the ball. And it's quickly with Esteli as they power into the final third. Barrera steps by. Barrera looking for the lane. Dips that over the crossbar.
Yeah, you see what he was trying to do here as he cuts this ball back across the grain, across the top of the penalty area. Just trying to bend this one with his left foot to the upper corner. But got too much underneath it. Sends that ball over the crossbar. But again, Herediano can't be complacent in transition, or else this team Esteli will make you pay.
It's 25 minutes left here to try and figure this out. Mentioned ad nauseum, they drew at Waterhouse, then they drew at home last year in the Concacaf League round of 16, fell in penalties, playing a game of roulette against a Jamaican side that certainly made a lot of noise by knocking off Herediano. And after they went to the 2018 final, unseated Motagua in the finale. Crossfield, Zuniga. Off the turn, Ruiz. Hernandez extends up the line. Against Betancourt, got it across. First header's away, Burke.
Great skill to keep it in traffic there, Burke. Line on the feet.
Between three white shirts. Zuniga curls this service. It's beyond Yendrick Ruiz. Covered by Betancourt, but he's giving it right back. Gallo. Ruiz. Ruiz sliced across, nobody making that internal run. Lopez, that deflects. Ricochets wide, corner Herediano. Injured player down is Oscar Lopez. And you'd have to say, far and away the best minute of this match for Herediano. Capped off by Lopez with a knock here to the head.
I would totally agree, but for me here, Lopez has to take this shot on. He has to clear shot at goal, smash it low, far post. Even if it goes, that keeper doesn't save it. There's two defenders in the way. Maybe you get a deflection in an own goal, but to give up that opportunity without a clear runner coming through the box is borderline unforgivable at this stage in the game, down 1-0.
It will be a corner. Oscar Lopez is back to his feet. Another of those players who featured in the 2019 Gold Cup for Nicaragua. The change here, Manuel Rosas, who picked up an early knock but soldiered on, comes out. Oscar Acevedo replaces him. And this could well be five in the back the rest of the way. That's a center back coming in for Esteli.
They're just looking to secure things here. As Herediano growing more and more confident, more and more threatening into the game.
That's the first substitution there. High from Tejeda.
But now it begs the question, are you going to have the legs to go forward when you do win possession? Because you can't defend for 22 minutes. Is it too early to go super defensive? Only time will tell.
Right now, all the right buttons pushed by the young manager. I have to say Flores got a good read on this. A long way to go against great opposition. Ruiz leading ball forward for Lopez. This hammered out another corner. Herediano starting to really put the pressure on.
Yeah, tightening the screws, Herediano. Not only an uptick in pace, but an uptick in movement off the ball. And they're getting more and more numbers into the box.
5 together here, red shirts. Back across, bicycle kick off the post by Ruiz.
The spectacular acrobatic shot. Just unfortunate to rebound off the upright. And Esteli living dangerously here. As you take a look at this one, gets served in by Ruiz. Gets knotted back across the goal. One bounce and a bicycle kick. Rebound just ricochets off the upright and comes out. And we're still 1-0 Esteli.
Hendrik Ruiz looking for something truly spectacular there.
Just unlucky.
Inches. This is exactly what Japhet Soto was looking for coming into this match. This is where Herediano wanted to start this match. And this runs beyond Hernandez.
Yeah, but they've taken 45 minutes, or probably 60 minutes to wake up. They're sleeping in that first half, it seems. Now it's a question if they could get that all-important goal to tie this, to level this one.
I'd be remiss not to mention that Herediano's women's club just won the Costa Rican championship for the first time. Herediano just this year getting a franchise in that league as this escapes out for a goal kick. Paula Couto scored the equalizing goal at Saprissa. A 1-1 draw, which allowed them to win the title. Celebration with crowns galore on those players, and congratulations to them, and hopefully one day real soon we'll be talking about Women's Champions League in CONCACAF, Women's CONCACAF League as well. Another look at this as it appeared to get off the arm, perhaps that bicep of Ruiz.
Looks like Bronzati just a little bit worse for wear in that challenge. Slow to get back to his feet. Another part of that could be a little gamesmanship as well. So we only have 19 minutes and change left on the clock.
Brown, the winner of 5 titles, Champions League semi-finalist, over 25,000 minutes in the first division, 99 in red, anchoring the back line for Herediano. Herediano's side that appeared to have quelled the threat on what ended up being the go-ahead goal in the 19th minute. Multiple blocks. Way to see Betancourt rocket it into the net. And Real Esteli still on the front foot here in the latter stages. Only one match. There is no return leg. There is no extra time. A goal for Herediano. They could send us spiraling toward penalties. If Real Esteli finds the next goal, the mountain would simply be massive for Herediano, although road goals don't come into play in this single match format. Winner onto the quarterfinals. By arriving there, you have a chance to win, Continue your search for a crown with a berth in Champions League for 2021 already under your belt, or you could lose and go into the playing game. It'll allow you a seat at that 2021 Champions League table. Ruiz can't get a touch. Rodriguez lobs it away. Real Esteli legitimately could be about 105 minutes away from reaching Champions League in a semifinal in a major continental competition.
And that's why you play the game. That's why you play the competition. And they're doing the best they can right now to hold on to this 1-0 lead. But Herediano is tightening the screws. You could see the defensive posture of Esteli. Back five, another bank of four in front and one up top.
Dangerous challenge, and for the first time, a yellow card comes flying out. Let's go to Chavarria, who's drawn some ire a couple times from the official.
Yeah, once or twice, but this one definitely warrants a yellow card as he comes in, studs up here, looking to step on the ball, and gets all of Lopez's ankle in that challenge. Rightly so, given the yellow card.
Carlos Chavarria, Real Esteli youth, who's globe-trotted through Malta and Iran and Tunisia, played in Champions League in Asia, also Concacaf League and Concacaf Champions League. It's not going to be hard to find this substitute on the field, as Herediano trying to find a goal, and Fernando Mercado Jr. comes on. He was born in California in the United States, came up through the U.S. Soccer Development Academy before making his way into Mexico and Spain as a youth as well. Mercado sticks his foot out here. You can see that color from space, I think, his hair. You have to appreciate players with a certain flair.
Well, you got to definitely have a lot of self-belief to do that, a lot of confidence as well. Because you know you're going to hear it from some people.
It's his first year in the club, but right now the only person who has a chance to say anything about it is me. The stadium around him empty here in San Jose. Betancourt in the 19th, Esteli with the lead. Herediano gets this cross away. Romo yanks it down. Ruiz charging through.
Great timing on to collect that cross. Romo saw it all the way and into safe hands to stymie that Herediano attack. Has to be said that if they approach the game the way they are now in the first half, we might see a different scoreline.
Esteli, I don't know, beyond a couple chances in the first half, I don't know if they've created much of anything in the last 25.
No, Herediano has been on the front foot the entire time. They've taken care of the ball. They've moved the ball from side to side, changed the point of attack. And the biggest difference for me in this second half is that they're a lot more mobile. There's a lot of movement off the ball in advance of where the ball is. So the players up top have been finding those gaps to run into, and they've been asking questions of the midfield and the back four of this Esteli outfit.
You'd have to say the irony is that came after Mcdonald and Leandrinho had come off the field.
And as we said, going into the half, they may need to change personnel in order to get going, and that's exactly what happened.
Zuniga seeking ball. This is away. And Bronzotti's got to keep an eye here. This is a simple catch for Romo.
Yeah, pretty routine, non-threatening ball. Definitely a waste of energy there. You get better off just playing this ball back and recycling and starting again. But decided to play that entry ball, and nobody was ready for it. Easy collect there from Segura.
Brown. He's leading Gallo. He's brought down from behind. Surely this must be a yellow card. Oscar Acevedo, the substitute, goes into the book.
Yeah, pretty cynical challenge here. Just not even looking to play the ball. You're going to take a see it on the replay. Just looks to take the player's legs out. Lucky to still be on the pitch, in my opinion. That attack, there's a challenge from behind. Referee Lopez chose to give a caution instead of the card that we both don't like to see.
And certainly add an element of chaos late here. Either way, this is a dangerous moment here for Esteli. We're almost going to have to find the appropriate amount of aggression on what's going to be a certain corridor of uncertainty in front of him.
They can surely expect the pressure to be ratcheted up in this final 10 minutes of the game.
Service lofted, cleared away, and this hammered by Tejeda. The block was on for Esteli, and perhaps there's more to be had here. So they race out beyond midfield, and this is fired forward for Barrera. Barrera trying to reclaim, he did. Leads Garcia, lays it across, Barrera! There's the save, Segura cross, bicycle kick comes off the crossbar from Garcia.
Garcia started it and almost ended it spectacularly with a bicycle kick. But Romo coming up with the goods.
Garcia again lays this across, seeking Barrera at the back post. Nodded forward Moscata, and Mercado was the target. And it's given back to Herediano with 10 minutes to go. This was nearly the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, Barrera twisting and turning, sets up Henry Garcia here, plays it back to Barrera. Great save there from Segura, and a bicycle kick here off the crossbar and out. How unlucky can you get? 2 bicycle kicks in the game, 2 rebounds off the post, 1 for either side. But things getting rather exciting here towards the end. 9.5 minutes left in this one.
And this is going to open wide down the stretch, it appears. This is Keanu. Hammers this across. Barrera. Garcia dipping in behind instead. Rodriguez. Massive deflection comes back out to Bronzatti. Mercado. They found that opposite side. Josue Keanu. Ricochets off of Lopez. Corner Esteli. This is the best way to take time off the clock. Continue to attack. Another look at this near bike.
Yeah, this ball, great save by Segura. This ball comes over. Great athleticism there from Garcia. Just unlucky getting rebounding off the crossbar. That certainly would have put the nail in the coffin for Herediano. But it didn't cross the line, and they live to fight again.
Corner delivered. That was Ruiz. Brown looked for support. Suniga again making his way across the halfway line. It's a line of 5 white shirts dropping in unison. The 6th over the top. Burke.
They just need to go faster with that counterattack, Herediano, if they're going to break Esteli down. They're a team that gets a lot of numbers behind the ball. As you can see, all 10 field players out behind the ball here, just making it life difficult for Herediano.
Dummied through by Suniga. Maybe a chance for Burke to get this across. Instead, it is Suniga. The contact came with a flying attempt to keep that by Yeltsin Tejeda. An injured player down, one stretching out and the other involved in that collision.
Yeah, you have to think that fatigue is setting in. As you rightly so, you see the substitutes.
Ayardis. Luis Acuna, who scored the game winner against Managua on the weekend. And Marlon Lopez as well. So 3 changes here allows Esteli one last move. Rather with Mercado's earlier insertion, that's the 5th and final substitute. Complete this change here, a triple sub. Henry Garcia coming off. Garcia simply tremendous in this game.
Yeah, he adds a super motor. He's been running since the opening whistle, and he even looks frustrated coming off at this point, as he probably thinks he has a lot more to give, but Coach Flores saying he needs a little bit more fresh legs on the pitch to deal with this Herediano attack in the final moments of this one. Esquila coming off, maybe a little bit of cramping.
I think at this point, Herediano is asking which line is closest to Mosqueda so they can try and recapture their momentum at this stage. Gave a lot in this game, Mosqueda did. And Marlon Lopez, the former loanee to Santos Teguapolis of Costa Rica, limited to 4 appearances as a work permit came into play, comes on. So the last 3 changes here for Real Esteli with 5 minutes to go plus stoppage, trying to assure a place in the quarterfinal against either the Panamanian side, San Francisco FC, or the Costa Rican side, Alajuelense.
Yeah, good move here by Coach Flores, getting fresh legs onto the pitch. So enable Esteli to apply more pressure higher up the field and not allow Herediano to get so deep into the attack. See if they could see this one out with 4.5 minutes left. Minimal contact there, but referee Lopez gave the free kick all the same. You could see the numbers going into the box for Herediano.
Zuniga for Ruiz. Gallo. Pro Herediano to the feet of Yendrick Ruiz. Time fleeting now for Herediano to rescue this round of 16 match.
Yeah, Gallo a bit wasteful there, especially this late in the game. As you can see Coach Soto a little bit frustrated with that cross.
Could this be a second consecutive year in which Herediano steps out in the round of 16? Unexpected, to say the least. And it's Acuna who heads to the corner and will battle this out.
Yeah, just looking to take valuable ticks off the clock. Acuna did a great job of fighting to get that one away from Tejeda.
Flores there, retired at 18. Started working on his A license. Went to Spain to complete it. Started by coaching the Esteli under-17s. Rose to the top place in the coaching staff. And at the age of 23, younger than the majority of the starters tonight, he's on the verge. Rodriguez, a hefty shot. Segura is able to deflect up.
Segura looked like he distributed that ball and his defender didn't know anything about it. Bounced off his heel back to him. Unfortunate touch there.
Goal for Herediano, and we would likely go to penalties at a 1-1 scoreline. If Esteli can hold on or perhaps grab another goal on the counter in the final seconds, they can assure their position. Quarterfinals. Their first ever opportunity to advance in CONCACAF League. A slide down. Just skipping around. Back out to Brown.
Yeah, great little nutmeg there by Burke. Trying to find his forward, but just ran into a sea of white jerseys.
Hernandez, what a gnat he was there. Takes a deflection. Did not come off the arm of Bronzatti. 100 ticks to go before stoppage time.
And you have to ask, is it a little bit too late? They're turning the screws, but can they find that equalizer?
Hernandez. The service looking for Ruiz, bobbled and maintained by Romo.
Yeah, great job of coming out and collecting that one, Romo. This man right here Hernandez has been great since coming on. You could see the uptick in energy, the movement, everything's a little bit more intense since his arrival onto the pitch. But yet still no goal. No equalizer. You could hear the shouts of tranquilo, which means calm it down. As Real Esteli look to manage the clock here. See if they could see this one out.
There's going to be plenty of time here. Fourth official suggesting there could be 5 minutes here. Herediano simply needs to get forward, but they'll have a few more cracks at this down the stretch.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck for Real Esteli.
Zuniga played it forward. Ball for Lopez. He goes down harshly. It is a throw. And with Lopez getting back to his feet, referee stopped play only for a second. 5 additional minutes. Service here, Zuniga didn't break through. Mercado, great step out in front. Can Mercado break free? Instead, off his line, Segura. This bouncing through, Jairo Ruiz. No further. Tejeda. There'd be whistles and shouting from tens of thousands. Instead, it's just this bench trying to usher Herediano forward.
Nail-biting finish here as Herediano desperately seeks the equalizer.
Zuniga searching. Headed away, stabbed further into space. All the way back to Segura, the goalkeeper. Can't blame him for the goal that's been allowed tonight. Esteli is led from the 19th minute on. Extra deflection, Ruiz, the hero of the 2018 run. Belongs to Esteli.
And that foul just lets them right off the hook. Or is it handball? Yeah, just that ball just bouncing on Ruiz's hand. Referee Lopez there. And Esteli get to take even more ticks off the clock.
Mercado.
Now it's really all about who wants it more.
Pounding down Ruiz. Jairo Ruiz out wide. This will skip through. Hernandez lets it go. A deflection to that. It's out wide. Corner Herediano.
Just putting their bodies on the line in the dying embers of this one. As Hernandez looked to have a crack on goal, but flying in there was Acevedo to put it out for a corner.
Corner popped up from Salazar. Your IOD's first thought is how quickly can you get this away from you? Instead, he's run the marathon here. Head on a swivel from Acuna. A slide in there. There's no whistle. Gallo. It is a throw.
Strong challenge there, possibly even a foul, but referee Lopez says no, it's a throw-in, and here comes Herediano on the attack again.
We're past the midway point of stoppage time. It's Brown making that long run forward, swept ahead. Brown knew he was in an offside position and couldn't chase. And a foul, Jairo Ruiz.
Great job on Betancourt to get his body in between the ball and the player here. as we take a look at this one. Again, this ball comes across. This is the first goal. Garcia has 2 bites at the apple. Comes to Betancourt, and he just smashes it top bins, and that's where we stand, 1-0. And the team from Nicaragua looking to eliminate Herediano from Costa Rica. Minute and a half left.
Herediano know they're a semi-finalist in the domestic competition in the Apertura in Costa Rica. They come off a grueling game against one of their biggest rivals, Saprissa. This Nicaraguan side guaranteed the top seed in their domestic playoff, playing as well as any team in Central America. One wondered if this was a stage too big with their young manager and a team full of international experience. A minute to go here. Jafet Soto can't be happy right now, the Herediano manager. Precious time ticking away, and one wonders how much further beyond 5 minutes we'll get with this stoppage. One of the giants in Costa Rican and Central American football, a champion in this competition just 2 years ago, is on the ropes now. Taken back by Zuniga. Driven back up by Mercado. Off the deflection. Final seconds. Jairo Ruiz gives chase. There's Romo, and with it he may have a ticket to the quarterfinals.
That might just do it. Romo coming out and securing the ball. Only ticks left on this clock. And there
it is. The final whistle, Real Esteli. Jubilant joy. Go to Costa Rica and pick up one of the biggest wins in their history. They knock off Herediano in this single match elimination in the round of 16 on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it has to be said, there's only one team that came in with the desire to win tonight and really grab the game by the snuff, and one team that played the entire 90 minutes plus the 5 added minutes at the end, and they got the goal and they got the victory.
One of the youngest managers in First Division football on the planet. Real Esteli go away to the National Stadium in San Jose, Costa Rica, and knock off Herediano. The game winner from Betancourt in the 19th minute. And it is frustrated faces for Herediano. The final score from San Jose, Real Esteli 1, Herediano 0.